Hey guys, it's Ghosdee. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm ranking the openings to the Scream franchise. Scream 6 just hit theaters about a month ago. I've been wanting to do this video for some time, but I wanted to wait until the perfect time. And what better perfect time than when there's a new Scream movie out? And also a Scream movie with a pretty cool fucking opening, might I say. Not to spoil the list or anything. I think that in general, the Scream openings are some of the most iconic in horror in general. The first Scream in particular kind of created this idea of this cold open. I think it did actually. Don't quote me on that, but it feels like the cold open started with Scream, which is like fucking iconic. Love to see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into my list. So I created a criteria that was basically of how unique it was, the pacing, of course, how relevant it is to the film as a whole, other than to like cast and things like that, and what it does for the film's entire story. As far as like relevancy, sure, yeah. Personally, I think Scream 5 has probably the most boring opening, and if anything, I caught the killer literally in the first 5 minutes of this film. I don't mean to hate on Scream 5 because I don't dislike it. I don't think it's an awful film. I just think that the Scream franchise as a whole has a lot of great, strong movies, and this is like, and that's how I feel about the opening as well. I think that like it is an intense sequence. Like it's not bad, it's fine. I just think it's kind of flat. It just really doesn't do anything for me. The pacing in this just moves a little too fast for me, and also I'm not a big Cotton fan. I don't need to spend time with him. I'm a sucker for the references of horror movies right out of the gate, and we didn't really get that in this one. I don't think we got that at all. We just got Cotton almost cheating on his girlfriend. But I will say on that, we are introduced the voice changer, which is the new thing in Scream 3, which is this tool that can be used to change your voice to anybody else. I do love that because we have this whole fake out moment where we hear Cotton's voice speaking to his girlfriend who's locked in the bathroom, and then it like turns into this sinister like open the fucking door. He says something like open the fucking door, and I just think that's so sinister and crazy. It makes for an interesting moment when Cotton does return and his wife is killed by Ghostface. I first want to say Scream 4 is actually my second favorite in the whole franchise. I just fucking love that movie, and I rewatched it last night, and it just, that movie can do no wrong. Jill is one of the best. Jill might be my favorite Ghostface killer. It's just her MO, like it's just perfect. I do have appreciation for the horror movies that they're referencing in the beginning of this because I'm a big Saw fan, and right out the gate, they're talking about Saw. They're talking about how sequels are like getting boring, like they're really commenting on the current, or at the time, 2011 culture of horror films. And I also thought that the movieception gimmick was great, although it got a little bit too gimmicky for me. Once, great. Twice, you know, but still no hate, honestly. I think it's really great. A big swing on the Scream 4, especially coming back out of being out of practice for so long. So like no issues, and I'm still a fan. When it comes to being fresh and new, I think this one really does take the cake. It kind of breaks the formula of the opening scene, but it also still brings us those great Scream moments. We open with the phone call. We are getting a little bit of like film knowledge per Samara Weaving, taking it even further by going back to the Ghost Fast Maze actually coming off like in the first one, but we're actually seeing a face. What's happening? Huh? Yeah, I was pretty gagged. I'm not gonna lie. But I knew something was up. Something even better was up. And it was. My review with Gray and the gang a while ago when we covered Scream 6, I remember them saying something like Halloween Kills changed the formula, in which like in the franchise sequels just kind of going off the rails and doing whatever is like kind of the thing now. That's what I really got out of Scream 6, and that's the climate we're in, you know, as far as like horror films and these long franchises that's been in existence for decades now. Let's get wacky, let's get weird. Although I think as a whole this film still, not to throw my review in here, it still is like not so off the rails, but it does, like, you know, bring so many surprises and kind of divert our expectations in a lot of ways, just like it does in this opening. And the line, "who gives a fuck about the movies," is just fucking hilarious, because it's just like, bitch, this is why we're here. The fucking Scream movies are built on people giving a fuck about the movies. In the fucking movies! That's why stab is a thing. Like, nigga, did you see the opening of Scream 2? Speaking of, the opening of Scream 2 just speaks to me in a sense of these crazy, obsessed horror fans getting together in this theater with these ghost face masks in the town. No, not in the town, but you know, a year after this real life thing happened, but they're just like, this movie is so great. We're getting Jada Pinkett Smith and Omar Epps because the 90s knew what the fuck was up and black people were fucking everywhere. And even the humor, they made a joke about something about white people, something about Nope, I'm pretty sure. But what I really love about this is that Ghostface was stabbing Jada's character, and everybody's so hyped up by this movie and what's happening on the screen that they don't even realize that she's actually being stabbed. I just think her death, you know, on the stage has such a moment. It's such a moment, man. And also just the fact that this is in public. You know, the first movie, the opening is like in home. A lot of the killings take place in home because it's supposed to be like, ooh, you're scared, you're home alone. But you're not even safe at the fucking movies. Not even safe at the fucking movies. Especially movies where everybody got a ghost face mask on. I love the pacing in a sense that it starts so quiet and safe. It's just a girl popping popcorn, having a conversation with a stranger. And then the music drops and his voice becomes so sinister. And then it's just a ride of terror, getting like worse with each moment. And it's just perfect. You don't really see that ending of the guts coming out, her mom hearing her die on the phone, her parents just barely missing her, or the boyfriend even. She doesn't even say she have a boyfriend, and turns out, bitch, she got one and his guts are hanging out. Crazy. I love it. I love the opening of Scream. Scream is killer. The franchise is killer. I feel like there are very few franchises that have multiple sequels and very strong. It manages to keep essentially most of the main cast, only now recently kind of shifting, and even then these guys are still relation to our characters from the original films. Kind of just blows me away. I like fall in love with Scream a little bit more like every couple of years, so yeah, it's really nice to also have them continue to be releasing out. I remember when Scream 4 came out, I just then got into the Scream films, and I'm like, man, I can't believe like I couldn't go see these in the theater, and now here I am later into my adulthood life and I get to see these movies. Thanks guys for watching this video. If you liked it, you can give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel. You can always hit the bell to be notified whenever I release new content. Follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at Ghosdee_, Twitter at Ghosdee, and Letterboxd at Ghosdee. I'll see you guys in the next video.